There comes a point after practicing the recollection of the Buddha's image for some time when something begins to change inside the mind. The mind becomes lighter, calmer, and much less burdened by negativity than before. The constant stream of wandering thoughts that once filled the mind all day long begins to slow down. Each time you recall the image of the Buddha, that image acts like a gentle interruption. It quietly cuts through the stream of thoughts. Whether those thoughts are positive or negative, when the mind captures the Buddha image, the thinking process pauses for a moment. And that small pause is actually very important, because in that brief moment, the mind enters a neutral state. It is not being pulled by desire. It is not being pushed by aversion. It simply rests. As you continue practicing this throughout the day, something deeper begins to reveal itself. You begin to see the mind as it truly is. You start noticing something very interesting. Thoughts are constantly arising and then passing away. A thought appears. It stays for only a brief moment, and then it disappears on its own. When this is observed again and again with mindfulness, a profound truth taught by the Buddha becomes clearer. This truth is known as the three characteristics of existence: impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self. All thoughts share these same qualities. They arise, they remain briefly, and then they vanish. Thoughts that once seemed powerful or very important begin to look completely different. You begin to see that they are simply events appearing within the mind. They arise, they exist for a short moment, and then they fade away. As this becomes clearer, wisdom quietly begins to grow. And at this stage of practice, the mind naturally begins to understand a deeper teaching of the Buddha. This teaching is called dependent origination. You begin to notice that thoughts do not arise randomly. They arise because of causes and conditions. When something contacts the senses, the mind becomes aware. From awareness, feeling arises. From feeling, thinking begins. And from thinking, mental formations continue to grow. If mindfulness is absent, this process continues forward into attachment and eventually into suffering. But when mindfulness is present and the image of the Buddha is used as a reminder, the chain of mental reactions can be interrupted. The process stops before it grows stronger. This is the beginning of seeing how the mind truly functions. It is the beginning of understanding dependent origination within your own experience. As this observation deepens, the mind gradually becomes more peaceful. Thoughts lose their power to dominate the mind. Instead, the mind becomes spacious, clear, and steady. This marks an important step in the practice of mindfulness in daily life, a step that slowly opens the door to deeper understanding of the Dhamma. And in the next episode, we will explore what happens when the arising and passing away of thoughts becomes even clearer, and how this practice can gently guide the mind closer and closer to the path of liberation, the path leading toward Nibbana.